Sales at aajtak.com or call 9999892171. Make your media plan smarter with India Today Live TV on your connected devices. Everyone's busy finding what's trending. You're busy finding out why. India Today, for those who research before reacting. Download the India Today app now. Make your media plan smarter with India Today Live TV on your connected devices.
You are watching India.
Sachin Tendulkar, Mary Kom, Rekha, Javed Akhtar, Ram Jethmalani, Zakir Hussain. These are all prominent celebrities, prominent names in the country, and they've all been members of the Rajya Sabha in the past. Yes, in this video, we're going to be talking about the upcoming Rajya Sabha elections. And this time, it's 57 seats up for grabs across 15 states. The elections for the Rajya Sabha is going to be held on June 10th. And let me break down for you how elections are conducted for those coveted Rajya Sabha seats. So the BJP has announced 18 candidates in the running. Most prominently, it includes union ministers like Piyush Goyal from Maharashtra and Nirmala Sitharaman from Karnataka. Interestingly, Union Minority Affairs Minister Mukhtar Abbas Naqvi, who is in Rajya Sabha, is not part of the list this time. He was representing Jharkhand, or rather is, but now will not be in the future. So the Rajya Sabha, or the Council of States as it's called, is the upper house of the parliament. The Rajya Sabha has 250 members. Right now, there's 200.
Just 24 hours ago, this was to be the last performance of Krishna Kumar Kunnad, popularly known as KK. And what he's left behind ever since that tragic death is a legacy for the generation like that of ours that graduated at the turn of century, where every song at the school or college farewell had to be that of KK. Yaro Dosti or Yaad Rahenge Wo Pal. And therefore at 6 p.m. today I'll be paying a tribute to the singer who gave us a memory to remember for a lifetime from our school and college days. That special telecast coming up at 6 p.m. prime with me, Pooja Shali, on India Today. Do not miss. We bid alvida to KK for giving us the memory of a lifetime.
Co-presented by PolicyBazaar.com. Co-powered by introducing Motorola Edge 30. Co-powered by HP Pavilion. Power to do it all. In association with LIC, हर पल आपके साथ. The new Volkswagen Virtus. NECC, Sunday हो या Monday, रोज खाओ अंडे.
His voice defined romance for millennials. Melodies that resonated in the 90s. Love, heartbreak and dosti. KK, thank you for the music you gave us. Good evening and welcome. You're watching 6 p.m. Prime with me, Pooja Shali. The next half an hour, a special tribute to KK, who's given his fans a memory of a lifetime. And today we bid him a musical farewell. First, the headlines. KK's post-mortem report rules out unnatural death. Music industry mourns the sudden demise of the iconic singer. Cremation likely to be held tomorrow. Big ticket decision by the government. Hindu government employees to be transferred to the district headquarters from far-flung areas in the Kashmir Valley. This comes after a spree of targeted killings of the Hindus in Kashmir. ED notice to Rahul and Sonia Gandhi in the National Herald case. Congress cries political vendetta and importantly alleges that this is Modi government misusing agencies. ED freezes 23 bank accounts linked to Popular Front of India. Also says that 60 crore rupees were deposited in these accounts over the last 13 years. Moosewala murder plot unravels from Tihar to Punjab jails. Cops grill gangster Lawrence Bishnoi. Forensic team to now study the shootout video where indiscriminate firing was heard. UP Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath lays the first carved stone for the Ram Temple Sanctum Sanctorum, says invaders had attacked India's faith and now pledges to make Ram Temple India's national temple. Listen in.
जिन आक्रांताओं ने अपने नापाक इरादों के माध्यम से भारत की आस्था पर प्रहार किया था, अंततः भारत की विजय हुई।
आज भी जब वो पल मुझको याद आते हैं, दिल से सारे गमों को
India's most versatile singer.
दर्द में भी ये लब मुस्कुरा जाते हैं, बीते लम्हे हमें जब भी याद आते हैं, बीते लम्हे
For love,
खुदा जाने के मैं फिदा हूँ, खुदा जाने मैं मिट गया, खुदा जाने ये क्यों हुआ है कि बन गए हो तुम मेरे खुदा।
for heartbreak,
दीवाना दिल दिल ना किसी से लगाना, झूठे हैं यार के वादे सारे, झूठी है प्यार की कसमें।
farewell.
मेरी राहें अलविदा, मेरी सांसें कहती है अलविदा, अलविदा अलविदा, अब कहना और क्या, जब तूने कह दिया अलविदा।
His tunes soothed lonely hearts.
दोस्ती बड़ी ही हसीन है, ये ना हो तो क्या फिर बोलो ये जिंदगी है।
The all-time voice of love.
वचन चल के किस्मत से आह निकलती रही, मुझको सजा प्यार की, ऐसा क्या गुनाह किया तो लुट गए, तो लुट गए हम तेरी मोहब्बत में। हम
His timeless pulse lives on.
रहे या ना रहे कल, कल याद आएंगे ये पल, हम रहे या ना रहे कल, कल याद आएंगे ये पल,
Alvida KK.
ये पल।
These songs by Krishna Kumar Kunnath, popularly known as KK, were not simply music by a singer. These melodies that you just heard are a memory for the 90s generation like that of mine, for the ones graduating at the turn of the century. In general, KK's music resonated with the youth for love, heartbreak, dosti and everything in between. But to be specific, for example, no school or college farewell event was considered complete unless a group sang the Yaro Dosti song by KK. And so my opening report today about KK and that untimely death is from the generation who got a musical farewell of good old days. And today we say, Yaad rahenge wo pal. Take a look at this report.
यारो दोस्ती बड़ी ही हसीन है, ये ना हो तो क्या फिर बोलो ये जिंदगी है कोई तो.
This song was the highlight of every school and college farewell for the generation graduating at the turn of the century. Released in 1999, for the next 2 decades, no freshers or farewell event was considered complete unless Yaro Dosti was sung, turning the audience teary-eyed. Such was the connect to KK's songs that today heartbroken fans are paying a tribute, remembering their good old days, made memorable with the effervescent music of the singer. His voice resonated with the youth of 90s across India. His melody personified love, heartbreak and dosti. If there was any doubt of KK's mass connect among the younger generation, this young man from Albania, who loves Indian music, upload this heartwarming tribute to KK.
Will he be missed? Unbelievable. Absolutely heartbreaking, man. I don't know. I've been very down since I heard the news. Man, he may be gone, but his work, his talent, and his nostalgia with the songs he made, everything is always gonna live forever.
With the untimely death of Krishna Kumar Kunnath, popularly known as KK, at 53, he has left behind a generation that will forever be grateful for a musical farewell that they got. And today they say, Alvida KK. Bureau Report, India Today. Romance defined by KK's songs in the late 90s and early 2000s specifically. And today, as we bid him farewell today, heartbroken and still unable to believe that he's no more, this special report now about his musical journey, transcending language barriers, but importantly a legacy to remember him with.
दर्द में भी ये लब मुस्कुरा जाते हैं, बीते लम्हे हमें जब भी याद आते हैं.
Krishna Kumar Kunath, popularly known as KK, was the voice that defined romance in the late 90s and early 2000s.
तड़प तड़प के इस दिल से आह निकलती रही मुझको सजा दी प्यार की ऐसा क्या गुनाह किया तो लुट गए हाँ लुट गए तो लुट गए हम तेरी मोहब्बत में.
Born in Delhi, KK moved to Mumbai to chase musical dreams. He began his career by singing advertisement jingles.
जब घर की रौनक बढ़ानी हो दीवारों को जब सजाना हो नेरो लैंड धड़कना इसी पे बहलना इसी पे मचलना इसी पे टहलना इसी पे यही तो है देश की धड़कन है पसी मरंदों पेन कंड कवले मरंदों पेन कंड.
He was introduced as a playback singer by A.R. Rahman with the hit song Kalluri Sale.
Kalluri Sale Kalluri Sale Kalluri Sale.
His first Bollywood break was a single line in 1996 Gulzar classic Machis.
जहाँ तेरे पैरों के कवल गिरा करते थे हंसे तो दो गालों में भंवर पड़ा करते थे.
In a lineup of stalwarts like Hariharan and Suresh Vadkar, young KK's voice resonated.
जहाँ तेरे पैरों के कमल गिरा करते थे हंसे तो दो गालों में भंवर पड़ा करते थे.
तेरी कमर के बल पे नदी मुड़ा करती थी
हंसी तेरी सुन सुन के फसल पका करती थी.
छोड़ा तड़प तड़प के इस दिल से आह निकलती रही मुझको सजा दी प्यार की ऐसा क्या गुनाह किया.
But his big Bollywood breakthrough was Ismail Darbar composed Tadap Tadap Ke from Salman Khan's Tara Hum Dil De Chuke Sanam.
तड़प तड़प के इस दिल से आह निकलती.
The song even left filmmaker Sanjay Leela Bhansali in tears.
क्या गुनाह किया तो लुट गए हाँ लुट गए तो लुट गए हम तेरी मोहब्बत में.
The song is still soothing broken hearts.
आह निकलती रही मुझको सजा दी प्यार की ऐसा क्या गुनाह किया तो लुट गए हाँ लुट गए तो लुट गए हम तेरी मोहब्बत में. हम रहे या ना रहे कल याद आएंगे.
As the indie pop scene exploded in India, KK launched his debut solo album Pal.
ये है प्यार के पल चल आ मेरे संग चल चल सोचे क्या छोटी सी है जिंदगी. यारो दोस्ती बड़ी ही हसीन है ये ना हो तो क्या फिर बोलो ये जिंदगी है.
Yaron, from the same album where he collaborated with Leslie Lewis of Colonial Cousins, became an anthem for teenagers, a song that's still synonymous at school farewells.
तो हो राज़दार.
KK's silken voice, his high notes echoed through Bollywood.
सच कह रहा है दीवाना दिल दिल ना किसी
From R. Madhavan's Hindi debut, Rehna Hai Tere Dil Mein,
है यार के वादे सारे
To the musical melodies that launched Kangana Ranaut's career.
क्यों आजकल नींद कम ख्वाब ज्यादा है लगता खुदा का कोई नेक इरादा है कल था फकीर आज दिल शहजादा है लगता खुदा का कोई नेक इरादा है क्या मुझे प्यार है ऐसा खुमार है क्या मुझे प्यार
From superstar Salman Khan
मेरा साथ तेरे है ना ढूंढते तेरी गली मुझको घर मिला तू जो मिला लो हो गया मैं काबिल
to Shah Rukh Khan.
आंखों में तेरी अजब सी अदाएं हैं हो आंखों में तेरी अजब सी अदाएं हैं दिल को बना दे जो पतंग सांसें ये तेरी वो हवा
And Ranbir Kapoor.
खुदा जाने के मैं फिदा हूँ खुदा जाने मैं
Ranbir Kapoor. KK was the voice of the romantic hero.
खुदा जाने ये क्यों हुआ है
In his musical career, KK also sang songs for TV shows like Hip Hip Hooray,
बचपन है बीत गया कब का है दूर जवानी अब भी कुछ खट्टी सी कुछ मीठी सी है अलग कहानी सबकी
and Shakalaka Boom Boom.
अरे बच्चे हैं तो क्या हुआ अरे नहीं किसी से कम शाकलाका बूम 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 शाकलाका बूम आज जवानी पर इतराने वाले कल पछता
He made an appearance on Coke Studio as well, where he sang a qawwali, Chadta Suraj, along with the Sabri brothers.
चढ़ता सूरज धीरे धीरे
All we can say now is, thank you for the music, KK.
ढलता ही ढल
Entertainment Bureau, India Today.
So KK's versatility was not just in emotions, but also it shone through language barriers. He sang in a total of at least 8 Indian languages and thereby clearly proving his talent. So whether it was Hindi, Tamil, Telugu to Kannada, here's now a music journey compilation of Krishna Kumar Kunnath, aka KK, across India. Take a look.
मुस्कानों में तेरी लिपटी
Krishna Kumar Kunnath, KK's music has left an indelible mark in the sands of time. His boisterous yet mellifluous voice resonates all across the nation.
वीराने में बहार लाया था तू
Born in Delhi to Malayali parents, KK proved his versatility not just in Bollywood movies, but in a total of 8 Indian languages. An auditory treat for listeners, KK played an integral part in Collywood and Tollywood as well. For many, KK's voice defined Tamil film music era in the 2000s.
Strawberry kanne
KK kick-started his Tamil debut with A.R. Rahman in the 1990s with the first ever hit, Strawberry Kanne from Minsara Kanavu.
ஃப்ரிட்ஜுக்குள் ஆப்பிள் போல் இருந்தவள் நீயே தங்க தட்டில் சோறு பென்ஸ் ஏசி காரு இருந்து நெஞ்சோடு சொல்லாத பாரம் என்ன தனிமை இனிமையாக எளிமை கொடுமையாக உனது கண்ணோடு சொல்லாத சோகம் என்ன
His collaborations with southern directors like Haris Jayaraj and Yuvan Shankar Raja resulted in several major hits that became an inseparable part of Tamil pop culture in the 2000s. He had sung the Tamil hit number Appadi Podu from Gilli in 2004, which became a pan-India and in fact an international hit.
அப்படி போடு 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 அஸ்தி போடு கண்ணாலே இப்படி போடு 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 கையாலே உயிரின் உயிரே உயிரின் உயிரே
2003, he had two major hits composed by Haris Jayaraj. Uyirin Uyire from Kaka Kaka, a fast-paced song about love which launched the career of Surya as a full-fledged action hero. And Kalyanam Daan Kattikittu from the movie Sami starring Vikram and Trisha. KK also sang the smash hit Kadal Valarthen, composed by Yuvan Shankar Raja from the movie Manmadan.
Kadal Valarthen, unmel nanum pulle Kadal Valarthen, Kadal Valarthen, yeah, usurukulla kudu katti Kadal Valarthen.
KK's romantic songs were also widely celebrated in the Tollywood film industry. Talachi Talachi Choose from the movie 7G Rainbow Colony.
Talachi Talachi Choose, Valachi Vedichi Nadiche, Nikai Nenu Pratiki Untini, Oh, Nilo Nannu Chusu Kontini.
Chelia Chelia from the film Gharshana was some of his most soothing and romantic Tollywood numbers. KK's legacy lives on with his music, and he transcended the language barrier with ease to give so many memorable hits to Indians everywhere in this country. Bureau Report, India Today.
And remember, his last performance was in Kolkata in Bengal, and just a day after that unfortunate sudden demise of singer KK in Kolkata, he was given a gun salute at Kolkata's Rabindra Sadan. Now, this, remember, also reflects the popularity that he had and how in shock people across Bengal are. As you can see, these are the visuals coming in from Bengal about the gun salute, and Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee also paying her tributes. His mortal remains will be flown to Mumbai for the last rites. Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee paid tributes. Family members of KK were also present during the ceremony. Cremation is likely to be held tomorrow in Mumbai. Just to give you a background, KK passed away at the age of 53 just about 24 hours ago in Kolkata after a performance, that last performance on your screen there at the Nazrul Manch in Kolkata at a concert. Kolkata police have registered a case of death. According to sources, injury marks were also found on his face and head. And the moment that word got confirmed that KK is no more, his music that left an indelible mark clearly came to the surface yet again. The singer breathed his last while performing in Kolkata on Tuesday evening. And during that show, KK was also caught complaining about excessive heat and that he was not comfortable. Later, he was then declared dead by the hospital just hours from that incident and from that complaint. Here's a report about a sequence of what happened. He was just doing what he loved on stage and then dropped dead.
This was 53-year-old singer Krishna Kumar Kunnath, KK's last performance before he breathed his last. Held at Kolkata's Nazrul Manch Auditorium on Tuesday evening. KK was performing before a capacity crowd wildly cheering. During the show, KK was caught complaining about excessive heat. He was soon taken out of the auditorium after feeling dizzy and complaining of uneasiness. According to police sources, KK reached his hotel at around 9:40 p.m. after the concert. Once at his hotel, KK called the reception manager and sought help, complaining that he was feeling unwell. But moments later, the singer collapsed. Hotel staff and his personal manager Ritesh Bhatt rushed KK to a hospital in an unconscious state. Doctors there declared KK brought dead with no pulse or heart rate. Sources revealed that there were injury marks found on his face and head. The body was sent for post-mortem to ascertain the cause of KK's death. Meanwhile, the BJP has referred to crowd mismanagement at KK's event, where fire extinguishers were caught on camera being fired at unruly fans, claiming massive negligence.
আমি জানি না কেন বারবার এই ধরনের ঘটনা ঘটে। এখানকার পুলিশ প্রশাসন কোনো বিখ্যাত ব্যক্তি সেলিব্রিটি বিশেষ করে এলে সাধারণ মানুষের মধ্যে একটা উন্মাদনা থাকে, অব্যবস্থা তৈরি হয়, কিন্তু সেটা দেখার জন্য প্রশাসনের দায়িত্ব থাকা উচিত। এই ধরনের শিল্পীদেরকে প্রোটেকশন দেওয়া। আপনি ভাবুন হাজার হাজার লোকের মধ্যে হলে এসি বন্ধ করে দিলে এই যা গরম, বাইরে আমরা অসুস্থ হয়ে যাচ্ছি, ভেতরে কি হতে পারে?
Not only there, incidentally I was the chief guest of the function. He has taken 4 programs in 2 days.
So was there some mismanagement from the part of the manager?
Not at all. On behalf of the police, it was totally perfect. I saw thousands and thousands of students. They were loitering in the streets, but police could not lathi charge. Police should not lathi charge.
The untimely death of KK bringing heartbreak for India, shattering his huge legion of fans. With Indrajit Kundu in Kolkata, Bureau Report, India Today.
And when the news broke around midnight yesterday, there were tributes pouring in. Social media was flooded. People, celebrities who had known him personally could not believe that KK is no more. And since then, tributes have been pouring in saying Alvida KK. After a very short break, I bring you the tributes from celebrities to fans to politicians, all of them reacting on KK's demise.
2022's biggest crime news break.
Popular Punjabi rap star and Congress leader Sidhu Moosewala was shot dead on Sunday.
Terrifying gangster hit on a superstar.
Visuals of the star vehicle is a witness to the dastardly attack.
India Today, relentlessly first at every step.
Sidhu Moosewala was targeted by these 2 dreaded gangsters.
With Moosewala's family, fans, friends and foes.
Who is this man and what is the gang that he has run?
Banduk, Bishnoi, Badla and Bhagwan. No angle untouched. India watching Moosewala murder coverage. Only on India Today.
A NASA probe has left California aboard a SpaceX rocket to carry out a life-size experiment. The mission's objective is to collide with Dimorphos, an asteroid measuring 160 meters in diameter, located 11 million kilometers from Earth, in order to change its trajectory and avoid a potential collision. DART is expected to hit Dimorphos at a speed of 24,000 kilometers in the autumn of 2022 after a 10-month journey. The asteroid is a moon orbiting a larger asteroid called Didymos. Neither its composition nor its shape is known. The effects of the impact on Dimorphos will be observed by a small satellite that will be deployed a few days before. Scientists believe that none of the 27,500 near-Earth asteroids pose a threat. However, they are only aware of 40% of the asteroids measuring 140 meters or more, which poses a risk of collision. NASA hopes to learn from this historic experience so that it is ready for the day when an asteroid really does threaten our planet.
From actors Ajay Devgan to Ranveer Singh, musicians Anu Malik to Vishal Dadlani, the entertainment industry joined in to mourn the demise of the singer. Everyone clearly shocked, still cannot believe that KK is no more. Here's a compilation of the tributes pouring in.
Just when the music industry was trying to cope with the news of Punjabi singer Sidhu Moosewala's death, another artist sang his final note and said goodbye forever. Playback singer KK, who was in Kolkata performing at a concert, collapsed soon after in his hotel room. He was rushed to a hospital and was declared as brought dead by the doctors. The untimely demise of the prominent singer has left the entire industry and his fans in complete shock. Actor Ranveer Singh took to social media to express his grief. He posted this picture of KK with a broken heart emoji. Vicky Kaushal also expressed how devastated he was by the news. He thanked the singer for his magical voice and evergreen songs. Akshay Kumar also reacted to the saddening news and remembered some of the songs that KK sang for his movies.
He was part of my lots of songs. Airlift के गाने भी उसने एक बहुत बड़ा गाना गाया था, तू भूला जिसे, जो कि actually climax गाना था. It was because of that song the climax was sounding so good. Because वो पूरा का पूरा गाना चलता है, and it was a very shocking thing what happened last night. मैं भी तभी लौटा था, and I heard that, and it's very sad that lots of our singers, we are losing them, and it happened in a very young age.
Filmmaker Karan Johar wrote, and I quote, "Heartbreaking news on the sudden passing away of such an incredible talent. R.I.P. KK, the entertainment world has lost a true artist today." Anupam Kher shared a clip of a song from his film, which was sung by KK.
कहती है धरा, कहता है गगन, कहता है ये मन जिसमें है लगन, दिल टूटने पे भी लग में गाए प्यार के, प्यार के, प्यार के। जीना क्या जीवन से हार के, जीना क्या जीवन से हार के।
His friends from the music industry also expressed their sorrow. Anu Malik shared his grief as he wrote, "Shattered beyond words," along with this picture.
I have worked with him so many songs, and to get this horrific news was disastrous to say the least.
Arman Malik took to social media to express his sadness. A black year for Indian music. Lata Didi, Bapida, Sidhu Paji, and now KK Sir. These losses, all of them feel so personal. Mika Singh shared this video of the singer and captioned it as yet another shocking and heartbreaking news. The most talented and down-to-earth singer, KK, sadly passed away today. Oh God, what's happening? May God bless his soul and may he rest in eternal peace, still in complete shock. Diya Mirza, Ajay Devgan, Vishal Dadlani, Preetam are among others from the film fraternity who expressed their grief as the industry lost one of its finest artists. Entertainment Bureau, India Today.
How would you look at this loss?
That's why I thought you have not given me a
I know. And to the film industry, to us, it is so personal. We can't get over every track that we are playing on our screens. I'm sure resonates across age groups. Literally, I know the lyrics to almost all the songs. And that's the sentiment that most of our newsroom share.
Yeah, hi. I'm really shocked because last night when I heard
I was completely kind of poleaxed. And I said, what happened? And because maybe you know or you don't know, KK has been my baby right from the beginning. I launched his career. I got him his first record deal. I made sure that he got out there to the public, and I composed the songs that you're playing now, which is Yaro Dosti and Pal. And I think I was very close to him when he started off his career. And a very special moment that we had when he said, you know, I used to always dream that one day you'll make my album. And when that album got released, Pal, he came to me and said, you know, Leslie, I've always dreamt that you'll make my album, and today you made my dream come true. And that's been a very special moment, you know, for KK and me, and such a wonderful singer and gone too soon. It's really sad, but yeah, I miss him. I mean, I'm going to miss him for a long time, because that kind of voice and that kind of a natural singer, I don't think you find so many. And I think that's why he reaches everybody's hearts. Listen to all his film songs that he sung, listen to Yaro Dosti, listen to Pal. It hits your heart, and that's the voice of KK.
And Leslie Lewis was not alone. Listen in now to musician Salim Merchant, who knew KK personally, and when he got the shock of this news, he spoke to India Today, remembering KK, the person, the musician that he was. Listen in.
Joining us right now is Salim Merchant, Indian singer, music director and score composer. Thank you so much for your time. And like I keep saying, you know, it's unfortunate that each time we've been connecting over the last few days, it's been over some unfortunate news or the other. This time around is the untimely demise of KK. How do you look at what has happened late last night?
It's a very, very dark and a very sad time for all of us in the music industry. And, you know, Sidhu's untimely, brutal passing away was a huge shocker. But this is just, I'm still not able to believe. A guy who's so careful about his lifestyle, somebody who's, you know, kept himself very fit and very focused onto, and not overworked or not overpressured, has just left us right after a show. I mean, I know KK was never ever, like, you know, into overworking or overdoing stuff. He would always finish a concert, go back to his family, spend time at home. And, you know, he never, like, jumped. He never liked to do 2 shows in a row. He liked to do just one weekend. And he's a guy who's, like, you know, who had no bad habits. He lived a very balanced lifestyle. Always happy, always positive, always very, very, very supportive, and, you know, of young artists. Just an amazing human being, really. You know, I mean, we all know he's a fabulous singer, great voice.
Yes.
But beyond that, he was an incredible human being.
So, you know, Salim Merchant, we don't want to speculate on what could have been the reason behind his death, but a lot is being suggested that he's probably died of a massive cardiac arrest. Do you know about any sort of an ailment, any problem that he was facing as far as his health is concerned?
Not at all. I met him 2 months ago in an airport lounge. He looked very, very comfortable. He looked very comfortable. He looked very, you know, healthy. And he was, you know, we spoke for a few minutes. This was his second show in a row. And it was quite hot at Nazrul Munch in Kolkata. I probably think that, like, you know, sometimes there's a lot of exertion and there's a lot of heat, and when the you know, the venue doesn't have a good ventilation, it could happen. But, you know, having said that, KK was so fit and he was so energetic. He's pulled off so many live concerts, packed audiences, you know, with especially college festivals, which are really, like, you know, very packed, and, you know, it has a lot of energy and euphoria. And he's done them for years and done it well. He's not overworked ever.
As I wrap up this special telecast, our prayers for strength for the family of KK, who are now grieving the musician's loss. At 53, KK is no more, but he's given his fans memories of a lifetime. Thank you, KK. alvida. Heading into a very short break. When we return, lots more on the other side, but leaving you with the best of Krishna Kumar Kunnat.
हम रहे या ना रहे कल याद आएंगे ये पल हम रहे या ना रहे कल याद आएंगे ये पल
NASA beamed doctors into the middle of the International Space Station while they were physically on Earth. This might seem like a scene from a sci-fi movie, but this technology now exists. NASA tried this new method to ensure medical help is provided to people in adverse situations. This is being called the first holoportation handshake from Earth in space. So what is holoportation and how does it work? According to NASA, it is a capture technology that allows high-quality 3D models of people to be reconstructed, compressed and transmitted live anywhere in real time. When these images are combined with mixed reality displays such as HoloLens, it allows users to see, hear and interact with remote participants in 3D. The technology gives a feeling as if the person is right in front of you. NASA says that the technology could be highly effective in deep space where communication lag is a major problem due to the immense distance between Earth and other objects. Using the Microsoft HoloLens Kinect camera with custom software, NASA flight surgeon Dr. Joseph Schmid and their teams were holoported. They interacted with astronaut Thomas Pesquet in a two-way conversation. Holoportation is not new. It has been in use since at least 2016 by Microsoft. But this was the first use in such an extreme and remote environment as space.
Make your media plan smarter with India Today Live TV on your connected devices.
You are watching India Today.
Let's now bring you an update into Sidhu Moosewala's murder. The probe has now intensified with regard to the Punjab police and the search teams that have been sent across the country. The questioning of the accused and suspects in the murder will continue today as well. The first arrest has been made. Manpreet Singh, Lawrence Bishnoi gang aide, was nabbed in Uttarakhand. Visuals there on your screen. Manpreet Singh is a notorious drug dealer, is a gangster. He is now in police custody for the next 5 days. Meanwhile, Lawrence Bishnoi has been also taken for questioning by the police and is currently in the custody of the special cell of the Delhi police. According to police sources, Lawrence Bishnoi is not cooperating in that interrogation and the questioning. Lawrence has distanced himself from Moosewala's murder now. Lawrence has told the police that he or his gangs have no role to play in Moosewala's brutal murder. Meanwhile, Bishnoi, remember, you're looking at that man on your screen, has filed a petition in the Punjab and Haryana courts seeking not to be moved to Punjab for questioning. Bishnoi has claimed his life is in danger if he's taken to Punjab for interrogation. Take a look at this footage that had come earlier, remember? Now, a second CCTV footage of the murder has now been accessed by India Today. The forensic team will be analysing this CCTV footage to dig out leads in Moosewala's cold-blooded murder, where gunshots, indiscriminate, were heard while people rushed to safety.
दो लोग हमने प्रोडक्शन वारंट में शुभदीप सिंह के मर्डर केस में हम लेके आए हैं, जो कि ऑर्गेनाइज्ड क्रिमिनल्स के गैंग के मेंबर्स हैं, लॉरेंस बिश्नोई गैंग के मेंबर्स हैं, उनको हम लेके आए हैं और एक जो और दोषी है उनको हमने अरेस्ट किया है। हमें लगता है ये इसी जो ऑर्गेनाइज्ड गैंग का पार्ट है और इस मॉड्यूल के बारे में भी इनके पास कोई खास इन्फॉर्मेशन ज़रूर होगी, तो उनसे जरूर डूंगाई के साथ उनके साथ पूछगिछ की जा रही है। हमें लगता है कि काफ़ी अहम लीड हमें उनसे मिलेंगे। जो सीसीटीवी फुटेज हमें मिल गई हैं, हमने सारे रास्ते हैं वहाँ से भी अलग अलग एरिया से अलग अलग टाइम्स के बीच हमने फुटेज निकाली है। ये सारी इन्फॉर्मेशन हमारे पास टेक्निकल एविडेंसेस भी हमारे पास है और साथ में हमारे पास सीसीटीवी फुटेज भी है।
देखिए, ये पंजाब का मर्डर केस है और इसकी इन्वेस्टिगेशन पंजाब पुलिस द्वारा ही की जा रही है। उन्होंने किसी संदिग्ध के लिए हमारी एसटीएफ को कांटेक्ट किया था कोऑपरेशन करने को। हमारी एसटीएफ ने उनका पूरा कोऑपरेट किया और वो किसी को लेके गए हैं अपने केस में संदिग्ध मानते हुए। आगे उनके साथ पूछताछ भी पंजाब पुलिस द्वारा की जा रही है और आगे की कार्रवाई भी उन्हीं के द्वारा की जा रही है।
Punjab police will now be taking Lawrence Bishnoi into custody. Punjab police has been taking help of central agencies. Remember, this is big news coming in because Special Cell already does have the custody of Lawrence Bishnoi, who has been lodged already on different cases in the Tihar prison. Now, Punjab police is likely to take Lawrence Bishnoi into custody. That is very important because the state police is taking help of central agencies. Why is this big? Because Lawrence Bishnoi has said he fears for his life if he's taken to Punjab for questioning. But the latest is the Punjab police ensuring that they catch on all the leads with regard to Lawrence Bishnoi or anyone else involved in a possible gang planning, gang aggression that led to the murder of Sidhu Musewala. Now, amid all this, a question has also arisen. Why are the convicts or even under trials currently lodged in a high-security Tihar jail prison are even being suspects of plotting a murder outside the prison? In Tihar jail, let me tell you, over 17,000 convicts are lodged. It is a maximum security jail, imprisons the most high-profile criminals, and yet the jail has turned, as now is being alleged, a crime haven. Here's a report on why there are criminals and crime stories coming in from inside the Tihar prison. Take a look.
India's biggest prison complex that lodges over 17,000 convicts. A maximum security jail that imprisons a number of high-profile criminals. CCTV camera surveillance, computerized prison management system, scanners, metal detectors, and quick reaction teams on deployment. Despite all this, the Tihar jail seems to have become a crime haven. The police suspect the murder of Sidhu Musewala was hatched inside Tihar. The prime suspect, Lawrence Bishnoi, is currently lodged in jail number 8. Sources say the Lawrence Bishnoi gang allegedly executed the hit on the directions from Canada-based gangster Goldie Brar, who claimed responsibility for the assassination of the popular Punjabi musician and Congress neta. A suspect named Shahrukh was detained by the Delhi police a few days ago on charges of using a messaging app to connect from the jail with Goldie Brar. The Delhi Police Special Cell is questioning gangster Bishnoi and his associates Kala Jathedi and Kala Rana. Tihar is linked to many recent high-profile crimes. In March 2022, in a suspected case of gang war, Shekhar Rana, alias Sannata, an associate of jailed gangster Sunil, alias Tillu Tajpuria, was shot dead at Rohini Court. He was allegedly murdered by gang members of slain gangster Jitender Gogi. Police investigation revealed that the murder was conceived inside Tihar jail, allegedly by Rohit Moi, a former partner of deceased Gogi. In 2021, the National Investigation Agency, probing the bomb scare outside industrialist Mukesh Ambani's Mumbai house, had taken into possession 2 cell phones recovered from Tehseen Akhtar, the alleged chief of the Indian Mujahideen, a terror outfit. These incidents put a question mark on the effectiveness of jammers and electronic systems installed on jail premises. Instances point to alleged connivance of jail officials with the inmates. And how are convicts in possession of mobile phones? Tihar officials have also faced action. In May this year, the Delhi Police's Economic Offences Wing arrested Assistant Superintendent Prakash Chand for allegedly assisting imprisoned conman Sukesh Chandrasekhar in running his elaborate extortion ring. The Moosewala murder has once again put the spotlight on how the gangsters lodged in Tihar jail are freely running their crime empires. Bureau Report, India Today.
A question that definitely needs to be asked. I'm heading into a very short commercial break. When we return, the Enforcement Directorate has sent a summon to Rahul and Sonia Gandhi in the National Herald case. The Congress party has cried political vendetta and said Modi government is misusing agencies. Let's get you that big political storm after a very short break.
You are watching in
Make your media plan smarter with India Today Live TV on your connected devices.
You are watching India Today.
Delhi Mantri's arrest triggers a firestorm. Smriti Irani fires 10 questions at Kejriwal. She asks, how clean is your cheat? Kejriwal calls the case farzi. The big political showdown coming up on Newstrack.
Presented by Aditya Birla Group, Big in Your Life. Co-powered by only OLX Autos gives the best price for your car. Co-powered by Panasonic Smart AC, AC for healthier homes. In association with SBI Life, अपने लिए, अपनों के लिए.
Good evening, viewers. You're watching 7 at 7, the only news bulletin where I curate the day's top 7 stories for our viewers. I'm Preeti Chaudhary, and these are the headlines. KK's post-mortem report rules out unnatural death. Music industry mourns the sudden demise of iconic singer. Cremation to be held tomorrow. Mismanagement and chaos marred KK's last concert in Kolkata. Fans being sprayed with fire extinguisher caught on camera. Mega BJP and TMC blame game erupts. Big ticket decisions by the government. Hindu government officials to be transferred to district high courts headquarters from far-flung areas. This comes after a spree of targeted killings of Hindus in the valley. ED notice to Rahul and Sonia Gandhi in National Herald case. Congress cries political vendetta, says Modi government misusing agencies. ED freezes 23 bank accounts linked to Popular Front of India. Agency says more than 60 crore rupees deposited in these accounts over the last 13 years. Moosewala murder plot unravels from Tihar to Punjab jails. Cops grill gangster Lawrence Bishnoi. Forensic team to study the shootout video. UP Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath lays first carved stone for Ram Mandir sanctum. Says invaders had attacked India's faith. Pledges to make Ram Mandir India's national temple.
इन आक्रांताओं ने अपने नापाक इरादों के माध्यम से भारत की आस्था पर प्रहार किया था. अंततः भारत की विजय हुई.
All right, viewers, our top focus concerns the Gandhi family. The National Herald case is back to haunt the Congress High Command or the Gandhi family. Both Rahul Gandhi and Sonia Gandhi have now been summoned by the Enforcement Directorate. The Congress on this part calls it political vendetta and hunting down of the opposition by using state machinery. The National Herald case, like I said, continues to haunt the Congress. The Congress has confirmed that the Gandhis will cooperate with the investigation. Sonia will appear before the ED on June 8th. Rahul, however, is travelling and has reportedly sought more time from the ED. The Congress lashed out at the ED, accusing the agency of working at the behest of the Bharatiya Janata Party. ED sources have told India Today that Rahul Gandhi has been asked to appear on 2nd of June and Sonia Gandhi on June 8th. This is the first time that the Gandhis have been issued a notice in the case, and ED sources have said they will be questioned on alleged illegal properties acquired by them.
आजादी के आंदोलन की आवाज बने इस अखबार का मूल मंत्र तब और अब दोनों समय था, आजादी खतरे में है, अपनी पूरी ताकत से इसकी रक्षा करें। आज फिर उस समय की अंग्रेजी हुकूमत का समर्थन करने वाली विचारधारा आजादी के आंदोलन की इस आवाज को दबाने का घिनौना षड्यंत्र कर रही है। इस षड्यंत्र के मुखिया स्वयं प्रधानमंत्री श्री नरेंद्र मोदी हैं और उनका हथियार उनका चहेता और पालतू ईडी है। देश को गुमराह करने के लिए आए दिन मुद्दों को भटकाने की राजनीति में माहिर मोदी सरकार अब बदले की भावना में अंधी हो गई है। जिस मानसिकता ने अंग्रेजों का साथ दिया था, आज गुलामी की प्रतीक वो मानसिकता आजादी की कुर्बानियों से प्रतिशोध ले रही है।
अब मोदी सरकार कोशिश कर रही है।
कभी आपने देखा कि कोई मुस्लिम बोले कि वो बेईमान है? कभी कोई मुस्लिम बोलता है कि मैं बेईमान हूं? सजा हो जाती है, 20-20 साल जेल में रह के आते हैं। वो हमेशा ही बोलते हैं कि गलती में हमको फंसा दिया। तो जो आदमी कटघरे में खड़ा है, जो बेल पर है, तो बेल उठवा लो ना, चार्जेस हटवा लो ना। क्यों नहीं करते? तो इसलिए नहीं करते हैं क्योंकि कागज सच्चे हैं और कागज परमानेंट होते हैं, तो वो उनको उस जगह पर खड़ा रख रहे हैं। ये तो वैसे ही है ना कि चेहरा गड़बड़ था और आईना साफ कर रहे हैं, तो जो है सो है, भ्रष्टाचार है और कोर्ट उसको देख रहा है, अच्छी तरीके से देख रहा है। मैं उस पर कमेंट क्यों करूं? लेकिन मेरा ये कहना है, आपके ऊपर चार्जशीट लगती है तो यार आप कोर्ट में जाते हैं इसको क्वैश करो, क्योंकि आप ईमानदार हैं। जो ईमानदार नहीं होता वो बेल लेकर के दूसरे प्रयोजन करता है। तो ये बताता है कि आपके कागज जो हैं वो बिल्कुल कमीशन के साथ लैस हैं पूरे।
All right, viewers, I want to cut across right now to my colleague Munish Pandey, who's been tracking the Enforcement Directorate and the case that they have built against the Gandhis. Munish, politically, the Congress says it's vendetta, but what is the case that ED has built against the Gandhis on which they have been summoned now?
Yeah, well, as far as the Enforcement Directorate is concerned, they maintain that from quite some time they investigated with the related, that is Young India and AJL. As there was an attachment to the Directorate in regards to this case, and recently several of the Congress party, including Mallikarjun Kharge, they were summoned by the Enforcement Directorate. They appeared and they stated regarding the Enforcement Directorate. Now, as far as the Gandhis is concerned, both the sources have told India Today that the recording statements of all the office bearers of National Herald, AJL and Young India, and that is why Sonia Gandhi and Rahul Gandhi both have been summoned, because their statement for each is important as far as this entire case is concerned. And that is why tomorrow, that is June 2nd, Rahul Gandhi has been summoned to appear before the Enforcement Directorate. On June 8th, Sonia Gandhi has been called for to come before the ED and record her statement. So as far as ED is concerned, they maintain that their case is based on the evidence which they have gathered against National Herald, AJL and Young India. But as far as Congress is concerned, they are calling it a political vendetta against the
Munish,
Congress.
before I let you go, very quickly, Rahul Gandhi is travelling. He's asked for more time. What does it mean? Because he's been summoned first.
Yeah, well, Rahul Gandhi has been called tomorrow by the Enforcement Directorate. We have been given to understand that the Congress party has asked for
Munish, can you hear me?
Yes, Priti, I can hear you.
Munish, the ED has summoned Rahul Gandhi tomorrow. Rahul Gandhi is asked for more time. What does it mean?
Yeah, well, this is the first summon which has been issued by the Enforcement Directorate. So every person who has been summoned by the ED, they have a right to appear before the agency, or they can skip this summons. Now, this is the first summon, and that is why he can ask for more time. The ED usually grants time.
Munish, we're having a problem with your audio link. We're going to try and rectify that. Appreciate you joining us. With what we could gather, Munish has elucidated that the first summon against Rahul Gandhi, in all probability, he will not be appearing because he's asked for more time, and the ED, as for precedence, will entertain that plea and give him more time. So he will not, in all probability, be appearing tomorrow. I'm going to quickly now shift focus to the big story, which is also developing where West Bengal is concerned. It seems, viewers, Sourav Ganguly has something up his sleeve. Nobody quite knows what it is. Some people are contemplating whether it's a political move, but it all started with a tweet. BCCI chief Sourav Ganguly has posted a cryptic message on Twitter. Dada took to the microblogging site and wrote, "This year marks 30 years of his journey with cricket and it has given him the support of the people." BCCI chief added that he is planning to start something new, that he feels he will help probably a lot of people. He said, "I hope you continue your support as I enter this chapter of my life." Right after this tweet, speculations triggered that Dada might be starting a political innings. Dada's remarks come just weeks after he had dinner with Union Home Minister Amit Shah and several senior BJP leaders at his residence in Kolkata. Meanwhile, BCCI Secretary Jai Shah has confirmed that Sourav Ganguly has not resigned as the president of India's cricket board. Cutting across to colleague Sourav, who's joining us for more. Sourav, what is it? There are various theories being attributed to that very, very cryptic tweet. Is he taking the political plunge? Is Rajya Sabha in order? Or is it entirely something different that he's looking at?
Well, Preeti, the tweet, it completely shook the length and breadth of this country. It came at around 4:30ish, and after which, we could feel the tremors everywhere, be it Delhi, Mumbai, or even in Kolkata. But, close sources from Saurav's team have clearly indicated that, it is a brand, it's something to do with a brand promotion, which he'll be speaking in a few, days from now. It's mostly brand promotion that he's talking about. Secondly, there was a lot of buzz that, after the tweet got viral, that he has resigned from his post of BCCI. Now, Jai Shah, as you rightly mentioned, secretary of the BCCI, he has completely, shrugged off this entire theory that Dada has resigned from the BCCI. So he's still over there. There might be a probability of him, trying for the ICC chairman's post. Now, Sourav Ganguly is cricketer. He's an athlete, who doesn't need any kind of introduction, and he is handling the BCCI very well. His critics are his fan, and the ICC might be his next. He might look for a future in the ICC as well. So, however, all these theories started cropping up. Simply because the Amit Shah 2 weeks back was at his place, and he's known to be close to Mamata Banerjee, so he the political pundits kept on guessing what his
lots of speculations on right now, Sourav, lots of speculations, and you're right, it possibly started after Amit Shah dining with Sourav Ganguly at his residence, but till now it seems to be no Rajya Sabha, no political plunge. What in all probability it was is a promotion for a brand that he possibly would be endorsing. Thank you, Sourav, for joining us. Let's now quickly move on, and this time we cut across to the state of Punjab and at the back of the gruesome murder of Sidhu Moosewala. Let's get you up to speed, viewers, where the investigations stand as of today in the murder of Sidhu Moosewala. The first arrest has been made. Manpreet Singh, a Lawrence Bishnoi aide, was nabbed in Uttarakhand yesterday. Manpreet Singh, a notorious drug dealer and gangster, is in police custody for 5 days. Meanwhile, Lawrence Bishnoi was taken for questioning by the cops and is currently in custody of the Delhi Police Special Cell. According to police sources, Lawrence Bishnoi is not cooperating in the interrogation. He has distanced himself from Moosewala's murder, telling the cops that he or his gangs have no role in Moosewala's murder. Bishnoi has filed a petition in the Punjab and Haryana High Court seeking not to be moved to Punjab for questioning. Bishnoi claimed that his life would be in danger if he's taken to Punjab. Meanwhile, a second CCTV footage has been recovered, the murder, and it's been accessed by India Today. A forensic team will be analyzing the CCTV footage to dig out leads in Moosewala's cold-blooded murder.
जो सिद्धू मूसेवाला है उसके घर के आसपास जो सीसीटीवी लगे हैं उसमें कोरोला कार दिखाई दे रही है जो ऐसा लगता है कि रेकी कर रही थी। तो क्या ये सीसीटीवी आप लोग को मिला है, जैसे आपने बताया भी कि सीसीटीवी मिला है, इस पर तफ्तीश जारी? बिल्कुल, ये सीसीटीवी फुटेज हमें मिल गई है। हमने सारे रास्ते हैं वहाँ से भी अलग अलग एरिया से अलग अलग टाइम्स के बीच हमने फुटेज निकाली है, तो काफ़ी सारी अहम लीड्स है जहाँ ये करोला कार है जिसने रेकी की है, क्या रूट लिया है, रास्ते में कहाँ रुकी है, कहाँ ओवरटेक किया है, काफ़ी मैनेज किया है, ये सारी इन्फॉर्मेशन है। इसके अलावा भी कहाँ उस एग्जिट रूट उसने क्या लिया है, कहाँ ये करोला गाड़ी अबैंडन मिली है, उसके बाद आगे बोलेरो गाड़ी कहाँ अबैंडन मिली है, कहाँ पे ऑल्टो गाड़ी स्नैच हुई है, ये सारी इन्फॉर्मेशन हमारे पास टेक्निकल एविडेंसेस भी हमारे पास है और साथ में हमारे पास सीसीटीवी फुटेज भी है।
आपका कहना है कि जो शूटर्स थे वो 3 गाड़ियों में आए थे और तीनों गाड़ी आपने रिकवर कर लिया, 4 गाड़ियों में आए थे?
शूटर्स अभी जो मैं तफ्तीश की भी 2 गाड़ियों में आए हैं, एक करोला कार में और एक बोलेरो कार में।
अच्छा, तो बाकी जो ये आपने 2 कवर आपने कार बताया,
जो करोला कार थी, करोला कार मौके पे छोड़ दी गई थी, उसके बाद ऑल्टो कार स्नैच की गई थी।
अच्छा,
ऑल्टो कार स्नैच करके दोषी भागे हैं।
अच्छा, तो अभी तक जो शूटर्स हैं, क्या एक सवाल बहुत अहम है कि दिल्ली पुलिस ने कुछ शूटर्स को अरेस्ट करके खुलासा किया था कि सिद्धू मूसेवाला को मारने की साजिश रची गई थी, पंजाब पुलिस से आप लोगों से शेयर किया गया, तो आप लोगों ने क्या किया?
नहीं, बिल्कुल उनको सिद्धू मूसेवाला को ऑलरेडी थ्रेट थी, तभी पंजाब सरकार की तरफ से उन्हें गनमैन जो प्रोवाइड किए गए थे, 2 कमांडो के गनमैन उनके पास थे।
तो अभी एक और अक्यूज को अरेस्ट किया था, शाहरुख, दिल्ली का गैंगस्टर था, वो पंजाब में बाकायदा सिद्धू मूसेवाला की उसने रेकी की थी, तो उसके बारे में क्या दिल्ली पुलिस ने आपसे शेयर किया था?
नो कमेंट्स, ये हेडक्वार्टर लेवल पे आपस में टाई अप रहता है।
अच्छा, क्या जो शूटर हमले में शामिल थे उनमें से अभी तक किसी की अरेस्टिंग हो पाई, आइडेंटिफाई कर पाए आप उनको?
नहीं, बिल्कुल इसमें अभी काम चल रहा है, जल्दी आपको रिजल्ट देंगे।
All right, let's move on to the other very, very tragic news report that came in last night. Viewers, singer KK is no more, and with that he's broken many, many hearts who followed his music so closely over years. A day after the sudden demise of singer KK in Kolkata, he was given a gun salute at Kolkata's Rabindra Sadan. His mortal remains will reach Mumbai at 7:30 p.m. for the last rites. West Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee paid tribute to the iconic singer. The family members of KK were also present during the ceremony. The cremation will be held tomorrow in Mumbai. Preliminary post-mortem reports rule out unnatural death of the singer. The final report will be published in 72 hours. KK passed at the age of 53 in Kolkata after a performance at a concert. The fact is, viewers, many extremely shocked, and the question which everybody is asking, what possibly killed KK, for someone who really didn't have any health issues to really talk about. Here's more.
हम रहे या ना रहे कल याद आएंगे ये पल.
He was just 53, a massively loved singer who crooned on love, life, passion and heartbreak. Also known for his youthful exuberance and super fit lifestyle. A non-smoker who never had alcohol, with no known pre-existing medical conditions. But iconic singer KK is suddenly gone.
रहे या ना रहे याद आएंगे ये पल.
The singer who was performing at a Kolkata concert had complained of the sweltering heat and then uneasiness. After the auditorium, with a capacity for 2,500 spectators, saw a 6,000 strong crowd turning up. KK was eventually escorted out of the auditorium. Moments later, he collapsed in his hotel. The hospital to which he was rushed declared him brought dead, with no pulse or heartbeat for the ECG test on arrival.
What happened in that concert? Obviously, a concert is like a high intensity, high energy event. And if there was a pre-existing heart disease which he may or may not have realized. And contributing factors can be the strenuous 2 hours that he spent there, the exhaustion, and also the heat.
So fans are wondering what killed one of India's most beloved singers at this relatively young age. Several theories are doing the rounds, including heat stroke, finally a heart attack, all compounded possibly by the impact of a heavy workload. Doctors suspect cardiac arrest, possibly triggered by heat stroke and an extremely hectic work schedule in the sweltering heat.
The two significant factors that play a role in younger people getting heart disease are basically genetic, stress, which I'm sure any performer has to go through a lot, and 3, if there is diabetes, it is an added significant risk factor.
He's not the first celebrity to leave the world at a relatively young age. Earlier, TV star Siddharth Shukla and Kannada superstar Puneeth Rajkumar had also died. With Indrajit Kundu in Kolkata, Bureau Report, India Today.
Well, rest in peace, KK. With that, I'm going to go into a quick break. To stay with us on the other side is our fact check segment.
Make your media plan smarter with India Today Live TV on your connected devices. Amplify your brand with 100 million smart internet viewers. To advertise, mail us at sales@aajtak.com or call 9999892171.
हमारे बड़े हमें चील फरश्ती के लिए ले जाया करते थे। हम जमीन पर लेटे आसमान में उनके डिजाइन देखा करते थे। सर घूमता था, लगता था आसमान में गिर जाएंगे।
The Indian documentary All That Breathes won the top documentary award at the Cannes Film Festival. Indian filmmaker Shaunak Sen bagged the Golden Eye Award, which is awarded to the best documentary presented in one of the sections of the Cannes Film Festival. All That Breathes follows the lives of siblings Mohammed Saud and Nadeem Shehzad, who work out of their basement in a village in Delhi. They rescue and treat injured birds, especially black kites. This is the second big award that the movie has gotten. Earlier, they won the Grand Jury Prize at the Sundance Film Festival, which drew a lot of attention. The Lieu d'Or Documentary Award, also known as the Golden Eye Award, was created in 2015 by the French-speaking Authors Society La Scam in collaboration with the Cannes Film Festival. The winner also gets prize money of 5,000 euros, which equals 4.16 lakhs. In 2021, filmmaker Payal Kapadia had won the award for her documentary A Night of Knowing Nothing. So far, only 2 Indians have this award.
Make your media plan smarter with India Today Live TV on your connected devices.
You are watching
Welcome back, viewers. You're watching our fact check segment where we bust certain claims masquerading to be facts on social media platforms and WhatsApp group. There's a claim floating about suggesting a video is going viral with the caption that this was Sidhu Moosewala's last interview. Incorrect, viewers. This particular interview of Sidhu Moosewala is by Sonam Bajwa and it dates back to March 2021. There have been more interviews that he did give post-March 2021. With that fact check, time for us to go into a quick break. You do stay with me. On the other side is To The Point.
fancy living in royalty? Then you should start saving up for £1.3 billion. That's how much Buckingham Palace will cost if it were up for sale. According to a new study by McCarthy Stone, UK's leading home construction company, the royal lifestyle is not easy to afford. The total value of UK's royal property reached £3.7 billion in the year 2022. Are you curious to know which are these castles and how much do they cost? Let's find out how much it would cost to buy and rent for a month. To buy Buckingham Palace, it would cost £1,600 million. To rent would be £2.6 million. What about the St. James Palace? Well, if you look to buy the palace, it'll be £600 million, and renting it would cost £1.7 million. If you wish to buy Windsor Castle, it'll cost you £580 million, whereas renting it is £1.7 million. What about the Kensington Palace? Well, to buy the palace, you'd have to shell out £558 million, and to rent it is £0.18 million. The Clarence House. The Clarence House can be bought for a whopping £298 million, while renting it would cost you £0.09 million. Although the royal family will put up these properties to sell or rent, would you ever fantasize to buy or rent one someday?
Imagine waking up to a new catastrophe every day. The world that we live in is leading towards a future where in a year there will be 560 catastrophes. This is not a plot of a horror movie, but instead this will be our reality, according to the UN. Yes, the UN has said if we don't act on climate change now, by the year 2030, we will have 560 catastrophes a year. Report by the UN paints a grim picture. It says most disasters would be weather-related, like fires and floods. But many will be hazards such as pandemics or chemical accidents. The scientific report said climate change is increasing the magnitude, frequency, duration and severity of climate-related hazards. It has become a major driver for disaster losses and development achievement setbacks. We currently are experiencing many heat waves. The report says that by the year 2030, the number of heat waves will be 3 times of what it was in 2001. The scariest part is this. The report talked not just about climate disasters, it looked at COVID-19, economic meltdowns, food shortage, all triggered by climate change. Decisions made by humans are too narrow and have been over-optimistic about the risk of the potential disasters. This leaves the world unprepared. The chief of the UN Office of Disaster Risk Reduction, Mami Mizutori, said if we don't get ahead of the curve, it will reach a point where we cannot manage the consequences of the disaster. According to the World Meteorological Organization, India's average annual loss in 2020 was around $87 billion. This was due to floods, cyclones and droughts. In 1990, disasters cost the world about $70 billion a year. Cut to now, they cost more than $170 billion. This is after adjusting for inflation and it doesn't include the indirect costs. Amina J. Mohammed, UN Deputy Secretary General, said the world needs to do more to incorporate disaster risk in how we live, build and invest, which is setting humanity on a spiral of self-destruction. We must turn our collective complacency to action. Not just this, but the Asia-Pacific region suffers the highest damage. The region loses an average of 1.6% of their GDP annually to disasters. Climate change demands action now.
Everyone's busy finding what's trending. You're busy finding out why. India Today, for those who research before reacting. Download the India Today app now.
You are watching
अरविंद केजरीवाल जी ने
It's a battle on four fronts between the Bharatiya Janata Party and the Aam Aadmi Party. Front 1, the arrest by the ED of Delhi Health Minister Satyendra Jain. BJP calling out the anti-corruption stand of the Aam Aadmi Party.
Does he knowingly now give patronage to those who have not only deceived the treasury but also deceived people, to those Mr. Kejriwal says should be declared as देश के गद्दार?
भारतीय जनता पार्टी हिमाचल प्रदेश में चुनाव हार रही है और इसी के कारण से सत्येंद्र जैन की एक फर्जी बेबुनियाद मामले में गिरफ्तारी की गई है।
Front 2, BJP slamming the Aam Aadmi Party on law and order in Punjab post Moosewala's murder.
हम इतना दुख हो रहा है कि पंजाब में ये सब हो रहा है, क्योंकि पंजाब शांति की तरफ, उन्नति की तरफ चलना चाहिए, ये पीछे को जा रहा है।
दिल्ली के कोर्ट के अंदर, गैंगवॉर के अंदर, जज के चैम्बर के अंदर लोग मारे जाते हैं और दिल्ली पुलिस जो सीधा केंद्र सरकार के अंदर आती है वो कुछ नहीं कर पाती।
Front 3, Aam Aadmi Party claiming the centre is using the newly elected Delhi LG to infringe on the rights of the Delhi government.
तो इसलिए हमारा एलजी साहब से ये निवेदन है कि जो मुद्दे दिल्ली की चुनी हुई सरकार के तहत आते हैं उन्हें मुख्यमंत्री और उनके कैबिनेट मंत्रियों को हैंडल करने दीजिए।
देश के सामने, दिल्ली के सामने एक बड़ा मुद्दा है, सत्येंद्र जैन का मुद्दा, उस पर से ध्यान भटकाना है। तो अब उपराज्यपाल महोदय से टकराने के लिए पूरी तैयारी की जा रही है।
Front 4, Delhi Chief Minister charges at centre for failing Kashmiri Pandits in the valley.
इस तरह 16 कश्मीरी पंडितों को इसी साल चुन चुन के मारा गया। ये सब कश्मीर समाज का हिस्सा है। कश्मीर का आम आदमी यही चाहता है कि कश्मीर में रहने वाले हिंदू और मुसलमान सभी एक साथ रहें, सुख से रहें।
BJP versus Aam Aadmi Party, an all-out war on To The Point this evening. All right, viewers, we're going to get a political face-off. We're going to go into it in just about 3 minutes between Sanjay Singh of the Aam Aadmi Party and Manoj Tiwari from the Bharatiya Janata Party as the parties trade barbs over multiple issues. But I want to bring in, before that, our National Affairs editor, Rahul Srivastav, who's joining me right now to get a larger understanding, Rahul, for our viewers, that why is it the BJP has cornered the Aam Aadmi Party on all fronts, be it Delhi, where Satyendra Jain is concerned, the LG's role, the newly minted LG, be it Punjab, when it comes down to law and order. The BJP is going after the Aam Aadmi Party on all fronts.
Preeti, sometimes politics is so multi-layered that one needs to go under the peels. Now, if you look at this war between, what I say is that in this war between the Aam Aadmi Party and the BJP, there is a very strange political kinship which is becoming visible between the two parties. Why I say that? That if you go back a little bit in time, there was an Arvind Kejriwal, the Chief Minister and the head of Aam Aadmi Party, who used to attack Narendra Modi ferociously. And then we found that he changed tack. Sometime 2 years ago, he stopped attacking Narendra Modi directly. And there was a calibration or attack by Mr. Arvind Kejriwal. As recent as last few days, if you see that there are television and radio ads on Yoga Day. Now, Arvind Kejriwal knows very well that the Yoga Day was proposed by Prime Minister Narendra Modi June 21st. It is not the Congress which has ever talked about it, but he had endorsed it and given it his own spin. If you see the states where Arvind Kejriwal is foraying,
right,
the Goa is the best example that if there was no Aam Aadmi Party and Mamata Banerjee's TMC, the results of Goa would have been different. Now, if you see what the BJP, I will say, is doing, is the BJP is creating a direct battle between it and the Aam Aadmi Party. And it is largely in those spaces where either it does not have a very strong presence, say, for example, in Punjab, by taking on Aam Aadmi Party directly, eventually it is trying to do what it did in Bengal, that it became the principal challenger, edging out the Congress and the CPM. That's what the intent in Punjab is. In other states, say Gujarat, in Kashmir, and several others, the BJP realizes that it needs to create a division in the anti-BJP votes as far as the players against the BJP is concerned, to ensure that the BJP remains the key player. And if you see, one of the most critical examples could well be in the coming days is elections in Gujarat and Himachal Pradesh, where the direct rival of the BJP is the Congress party, and the Aam Aadmi Party over the last few years is definitely not challenging BJP directly, but trying to eat into the votes of the Congress party first, create that space, political space for itself all across the country, and then become a challenger to the BJP. So right now, this transitory phase for the Aam Aadmi Party, where it is going, the BJP is utilizing the Aam Aadmi Party as a vote diminisher or a divider for the rivals like Congress.
Rahul Srivastav, appreciate you taking out the time, sir. Thank you for joining us, giving us that perspective. I want to pull in now our two guests for the big political face-off of the evening. Sanjay Singh, Rajya Sabha MP, Aam Aadmi Party joins me. Manoj Tiwari, Lok Sabha MP, Bharatiya Janata Party joins me. Thank you for joining us. बहुत शुक्रिया, आप दोनों ने वक्त निकाला, हमारे साथ जुड़े. सर, बस दोनों को यही कहूंगी कि पर्सनल अटैक से दूर रहिएगा. पर संजय जी, पहले आप पर आती हूँ. मेरा पहला सवाल संजय जी यही है, हर अकाउंट पे देख लीजिए संजय जी आज आप, अगर दिल्ली में सत्येंद्र जैन के अरेस्ट के बारे में हो, अगर पंजाब में जो लॉ एंड ऑर्डर सिचुएशन है मूसेवाला के मर्डर के बारे में हो, जो एलजी का रोल है, हर अकाउंट पे आज आपको बीजेपी कह रही है कि आपकी सरकार विफल है. सर,
देखिए, बीजेपी क्या कह रही है वो महत्वपूर्ण नहीं है, बीजेपी क्या कर रही है वो ज्यादा महत्वपूर्ण है. बीजेपी कर रही है और उसके बाद आरोप भी लगा रही है, कह भी रही है, ये इनका बड़ा खेल है. मैं चाहूंगा थोड़ा इको कम करा दीजिए
जी. बहुत जरूर. If the PCR can hear us, please introduce his echo.
प्रीति जी, इन्होंने हमारे मुख्य, आज वक्त क्या है, किस मुद्दे पे बहस होनी चाहिए थी, किस मुद्दे पे सरकार को चिंता होनी चाहिए थी और बात क्या हो रही है, यह भी हमें समझना जरूरी है. कश्मीरी पंडितों की हत्या हो रही है कश्मीर में, कैबिनेट मंत्री को चिंता उसकी होनी चाहिए थी. मोदी सरकार को कैबिनेट बुला के उस पर चर्चा करनी चाहिए थी कि कश्मीरी पंडित वहां से पलायन करने की बात कर रहे हैं, उनकी सुरक्षा नहीं हो पा रही है, एक के बाद दूसरी हत्या की घटनाएं हो रही हैं, उनका प्रोटेस्ट चल रहा है, लोगों में गुस्सा है, रोष है. और हो क्या रहा है, सत्येंद्र जैन को कैसे बदनाम करना है, आम आदमी पार्टी को कैसे बदनाम करना है. यह पहली बार हमारे साथ नहीं हुआ प्रीति जी. आपको याद होगा, मुख्यमंत्री के दफ्तर पे सीबीआई का छापा हुआ, उप मुख्यमंत्री मनीष सिसोदिया के घर पे सीबीआई का छापा हुआ, हमारे तमाम मंत्रियों पे ईडी सीबीआई का छापा हुआ, 34 विधायकों को पकड़ के जेल में डाला, बाद में उनको कोर्ट से बरी किया, दिल्ली पुलिस को लताड़ लगाई गई. एक दिन में 9 एफआईआर किया आदित्यनाथ जी ने मेरे ऊपर, राष्ट्रद्रोह का मुकदमा लगाया, 23 एफआईआर किए. तो राजनीतिक द्वेष के कारण एक नहीं अनेक मंत्रियों को, विधायकों को, हम लोगों को बार बार उत्पीड़न और प्रताड़ना झेलना पड़ा है. यह कोई नई बात नहीं है. सत्येंद्र जैन पे एक और मामला सीबीआई का चला था और उस वक्त भी भारतीय जनता पार्टी चिल्ला के कह रही थी इनको इस्तीफा दे देना चाहिए, इनको बर्खास्त कर देना चाहिए, इनके परिवार को जेल में डाल देना चाहिए. और बाद में क्या हुआ, 5 साल के बाद सर्विसेज के मामले में जिसमें सीबीआई जांच चल रही थी, 5 साल लग गया सीबीआई को और क्लोजर रिपोर्ट दाखिल हो गई. ये जो मामला ईडी का है, ये 8 साल पुराना मामला है. 8 साल में 7 बार सत्येंद्र जैन जी की पेशी हुई ईडी के सामने और कभी उनको गिरफ्तारी की जरूरत महसूस नहीं हुई. जब सत्येंद्र जैन हिमाचल प्रदेश के इंचार्ज बनाए जाते हैं, वहां भारतीय जनता पार्टी की हालत खराब होती है, लगातार आम आदमी पार्टी की वहां लोकप्रियता बढ़ रही है, केजरीवाल जी की रैलियां हुई, सभाएं हुई, मजबूत लोग पार्टी में ज्वाइन कर रहे हैं. उस वक्त कह रहे सत्येंद्र जैन को गिरफ्तार करना है, उठा के जेल में डाल दिया. तो आपके पास शक्ति है, ईडी है, सीबीआई है। वो ईडी सीबीआई नीरव मोदी पे काम नहीं करती, वो ईडी सीबीआई मेहुल चौकसी पे काम नहीं करती, विजय माल्या पे नहीं करती, ललित मोदी पे नहीं करती, हजारों करोड़ लूटने वाले लोगों पे नहीं करती, येदुरप्पा पे कार्रवाई नहीं करती, रेड्डी ब्रदर्स पे नहीं करती। वो ईडी सीबीआई व्यापम घोटाले पे कार्रवाई नहीं करती, राफेल घोटाले पे कार्रवाई नहीं करती। वो ईडी सीबीआई बनी किसके लिए है? सत्येंद्र जैन, केजरीवाल, मनीष सिसोदिया। तो आपके पास आज ताकत है, आप इसका जितना दुरुपयोग करते हैं कीजिए, लेकिन इन एजेंसियों की प्रतिष्ठा को बहुत बड़ी चोट और डेंट लगी है। 8-8 साल आप एक मामले को चला रहे हैं और जिसमें कि कुछ नहीं निकल रहा है।
संजय जी, आपके को पैनलिस्ट
होकर बाहर आएंगे।
जी संजय जी, आपके को पैनलिस्ट आना चाह रहे हैं। मैं मनोज तिवारी के पास जाना चाहूंगी। मनोज तिवारी जी, आम आदमी पार्टी, संजय सिंह जी जो अभी बात कर रहे थे, वो कह रहे हैं कि आप डर गए हैं, हिमाचल में आपकी लोकप्रियता कम हो रही है, आम आदमी पार्टी की बढ़ रही है, जो आम आदमी पार्टी कह रही है, इसीलिए आप डर गए हैं और आप एजेंसीज का दुरुपयोग कर रहे हैं।
देखिए, हिमाचल में क्या होगा ये तो चुनाव में पता चल ही जाएगा, लेकिन संजय भाई साहब ने 2-3 बातें जो कही वो स्वयं में ही उसी पे मैं सवाल करना चाहता हूं। आज सत्येंद्र जैन जी के ऊपर क्या केस है? हवाला कारोबार का केस है। फर्जी कंपनियां बना करके और ब्लैक मनी को हवाला के रूप में ले जाकर फर्जी कंपनियों के नाम पे दिल्ली की जनता का गाढ़ी कमाई का पैसा लूटने का आरोप है। और वो जैसे संजय भाई अभी कह रहे थे 7 साल से, मैं पूछना चाहता हूं, ये तो ईडी ने इतना टाइम दे दिया कि 7 साल कह रही है कि आप इसका कोई क्लैरिफिकेशन दो, इसका कोई रीजनेबल रीजन दो, लेकिन सत्येंद्र जैन जी लगातार इसमें फेल रहे। और आज के दिन में एक हवाला कारोबारी को, एक भ्रष्टाचारी को, जहां आम आदमी पार्टी जैसे ईमानदारी के साथ जितना लोग अपनी बातें करते हैं, उनको तो इसको अटैक करना चाहिए, ऐसे लोगों को अपने पास से हटाना चाहिए, स्वयं डिमांड करनी चाहिए कि जो भ्रष्टाचारी है उसको उसके ऊपर कार्रवाई होनी चाहिए। लेकिन आज एक हवाला कारोबारी को बचाने में लगी है आम आदमी पार्टी। आज अरविंद केजरीवाल जी को इतनी तकलीफ हो रही है, वही अरविंद केजरीवाल जी जो कई मामलों में कहते हैं कि हम किसी को सर्टिफिकेट नहीं देते, और वही आज कहते हैं हमने सारे कागज देख लिए हैं, इसलिए सत्येंद्र जैन बिल्कुल बरी कर दिए जाने चाहिए। इसमें भारतीय जनता पार्टी कहां से आ गई? एक संस्था जो कि ऐसे ही आपराधिक कारनामों का सत्य जानने के लिए है, तो ऐसे में इतने समय बाद भी अगर आप अपनी बेगुनाही का सबूत नहीं दे सकते, और एक मैं आश्चर्यचकित हूं कि जब जब ऐसे भ्रष्टाचारियों पर, हवाला कारोबारियों पर, जनता की कमाई लूटने वालों पर जब कार्रवाई होती है तो ये लोग कहते हैं हम लड़ेंगे, हम झुकेंगे नहीं। अरे इसमें भैया झुकने की कोई बात ही नहीं है, ये तो सारा कागज में तय है, कितना पैसा कैसे हवाला से गया, कैसे फर्जी कंपनी बनी, तो ये सारी चीजें जनता के सामने हैं। भारतीय जनता पार्टी किसी को भी भय देने के लिए, उसकी जो सरकार है वो ऐसा कार्य नहीं करती। और मैं आपके चैनल से स्पष्ट बता दूं कि ये कोई सत्येंद्र जैन जी नहीं है। क्या ये राहुल गांधी जी और सोनिया जी पे केस नहीं हुआ है? संजय जी बोलते बोलते केवल आम आदमी पार्टी के लोगों का नाम दिए। मेरा मानना है कि इस देश में निश्चित रूप से जब भी कोई कार्रवाई होती है, सत्य तक जाने के लिए समय लगता है। इसमें हमारे केंद्र सरकार से कुछ लेना देना नहीं है। जो बेईमानी करेगा, भ्रष्टाचार करेगा, उसको सजा होगी, और कोई कितना भी चिल्लाए, भ्रष्टाचारियों को सजा होनी ही चाहिए।
संजय जी, एंटी करप्शन पे पेटेंट तो नहीं है ना आम आदमी पार्टी का? वो कह रहे हैं कि अगर जब आप चाहें उसको एंटी करप्ट कर दें, किसी को बोल दें कि ये अभी करप्ट है, इसको हम निकाल रहे हैं। सत्येंद्र जैन पे केस तो चल रहा है 7 साल से, अगर वो करप्ट नहीं है, भ्रष्टाचारी नहीं है, तो छूट जाएंगे।
देखिए, ये ईडी और सीबीआई को बहुत मजबूत संस्था मानते हैं मनोज तिवारी जी, और वो ऐसी मजबूत संस्था देश की 7 साल तक कुछ नहीं खोज पाई सत्येंद्र जैन के खिलाफ। यही इस बात का प्रमाण है कि वो बेगुनाह है। उनके खिलाफ कुछ नहीं था। 7 बार पेश हुए, 7 बार जो पूछताछ उन्होंने की उसका जवाब दिया।
संजय भाई,
मनोज जी से पूछ लीजिए पहले, तब मैं बोलूंगा। जब वो बोल रहे थे तो मैं चुप था।
ये बात बहुत अच्छी है कि आप
हमारी
दोनों
इनकी
बड़े
बहस
प्यार
ऐसी
से एक
नहीं
दूसरे
होनी
से बात
चाहिए।
कर रहे
पहले
हैं।
उनसे जवाब।
नहीं, आप बहुत प्यार से बात करें, ऐसे ही बने रहिए। संजय जी,
वो जब बोलेंगे
मनोज
तो
जी,
मैं नहीं
इनको
बोलूंगा।
मनोज जी, आप संजय जी को भाई करके कह रहे हैं, संजय भाई को फिर खत्म करने लीजिए, फिर आप बोलिएगा।
बिल्कुल खत्म करेंगे। मैं ये बोल रहा था, एक लाइन गलती हो गई, बीच में बोल पड़ा कि 7 साल पूरी जानकारी लेने के बाद ही ये कार्रवाई हुई है, ये भी याद रखना चाहिए।
ठीक है, अभी मैं आपके पास वापस आऊंगी। संजय जी को कंप्लीट करने दीजिए। संजय जी बोलिए, आप अपना पक्ष रख रहे थे।
तो मेरा यह कहना है कि 2 मंत्रियों को हटाया गया, एक दिल्ली में और एक पंजाब में। जैसे ही साक्ष्य सामने आए, उसमें सत्यता लगी, हमने हटा के किनारे किया, उनको बर्खास्त किया, कार्रवाई के लिए भी आगे लिखा, जेल भेजा। इस पूरे मामले में बार बार पूछताछ के जरिए, कागजों के जरिए जितना कुछ देखा गया, जितना कुछ सामने लेकर आए, 2013 में जिस कंपनी से वो इस्तीफा दे चुके हैं, 2015-17 में कोई मनी लॉन्ड्रिंग हो रही है, उसमें कह रहे हैं कि साहब आप दोषी हैं। जिस कंपनी में वो किसी पद पर नहीं है, इस्तीफा दे चुके हैं 13 में। तो आरोप आपको लगाना है। मैं कहता रहा हूं, आपने किसको छोड़ा? मुख्यमंत्री, उप मुख्यमंत्री, तमाम मंत्री, तमाम विधायक, सब पे आरोप लगाए, सब पे मुकदमे लिखे, सब पे जांच कराई, निकला कुछ नहीं। इसमें भी कुछ नहीं निकलेगा। अब मामला न्यायालय में है तो वहां अपना पक्ष रखने दीजिए। और क्या कार्रवाई करने के लिए सत्येंद्र जैन पर बचे सिर्फ आपको मिलते हैं, या आम आदमी पार्टी के लोग मिलते हैं, या दूसरी पार्टियों का भी और दूसरे पूंजीपतियों का भी जिक्र मैंने किया। नीरव मोदी, मेहुल चोकसी, ललित मोदी, विजय माल्या, क्या किया आपने इनके खिलाफ? जो देश के लोगों का हजारों लाखों करोड़ रुपए लूटकर बाहर विदेशों में बैठे हुए हैं। आप आज तक कुछ भी नहीं कर पाए। राफेल का घोटाला हुआ, 500 करोड़ का जहाज 1627 करोड़ में खरीदा गया। और मनोज जी को शायद याद नहीं होगा, ये तब भारतीय जनता पार्टी में नहीं थे। दुर्भाग्य से ये उस पार्टी में है जिनका राष्ट्रीय अध्यक्ष कैमरे पर रिश्वत लेते हुए पकड़ा गया। और इनके एक नेता थे, स्वर्गीय हैं, वो इस दुनिया में नहीं। उन्होंने कहा था पैसा खुदा तो नहीं, खुदा से कम नहीं। उनका स्टिंग ऑपरेशन हुआ था, केंद्रीय मंत्री थे देश के। तो अब व्यापम घोटाला इनके राज में हुआ, जल जीवन मिशन का घोटाला इनके राज में हुआ, और अभी मौजूदा मैं बता दे रहा हूं। मनोज जी, आपको ज्यादा दूर सोचने की आवश्यकता नहीं है। 4 किसान और एक पत्रकार को मंत्री का बेटा कुचल के मार देता है, और पूरी की पूरी सरकार उस मंत्री को बचाने के पक्ष में खड़ी हो जाती है। आज तक मंत्री को हटाया नहीं गया। पूरी की पूरी सरकार आपकी खड़ी है उस मंत्री के साथ।
चलिए, अब
तो कौन किस तरह से आचरण करता है, कौन किस तरह से काम करता है, ये पूरा देश देख रहा है।
मनोज जी, जो संजय जी कह रहे हैं कि आरोप आपको लगाना है, जैन जी बहाना है, निशाना हिमाचल प्रदेश है।
देखिए, अभी संजय भाई ने 2 उदाहरण दिए। एक उन्होंने किसी भाजपा के नेता का उदाहरण दिया, अध्यक्ष का। याद रखिए कितनी जल्दी कार्रवाई हुई थी। भारतीय जनता पार्टी है संजय भाई,